Anaerobic respiration. The process which ATP is made through cellular respiration. We begin cellular respiration with a glucose molecule.
Glucose is used in glycolysis, the first step in anaerobic respiration.
An ATP molecule joins a glucose and the phosphate disconnects, joining to glucose, creating glucose 6-phosphate and an ADP.
Carbons disconnect and rearrange themselves to form fructose 6-phosphate.
Again, an ATP comes in and connects a phosphate, creating a fructose 1,6-biphosphate and an ADP.
The fructose 1,6-biphosphate splits into two separate parts, dihydroxyacetone phosphate and the other part being glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate follow the same process where a phosphate is added using NAD+, creating two molecules of 1,3-biphosphoglycerate and 2-NADH.
Phosphate breaks off of 1,3-biphosphoglycerate and joins to an ADP molecule to make two molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate and 2 ATP molecules.
Phosphate disconnects itself from 3-phosphoglycerate and rearranges itself to form 2-phosphoglycerate.
OH and H leave 2-phosphoglycerate as a water molecule and leave behind a phosphoenol pyruvate.
Phosphate breaks off phosphoenol pyruvate, joining ADP creating ATP, leaving behind a pyruvate.
Glycolysis produces 2 ATP, 2 NADH, 2 water molecules, and 2 pyruvate.
After glycolysis, the next step of anaerobic respiration can follow one of two paths.
One step is lactate fermentation. It goes through glycolysis, creating 2 pyruvates, and then becomes 2 lactates. In this process, NADH becomes NAD+.
Lactate fermentation occurs in muscle cells that don't have enough oxygen. The end products are lactic acid and 2 ATP.
The other option is ethanol fermentation. It goes through the process of glycolysis, creating 2 pyruvate. The pyruvate break apart, creating CO2 and 2 acetaldehyde. The acetaldehyde become 2 ethanol, and the cycle of 2 NADH become NAD+ again.
Ethanol fermentation occurs in yeast and other bacteria when they don't have enough oxygen. It produces 2 CO2, 2 ATP, and ethanol. That's all, folks.